And welcome to our English 10 targeted reteach. Today we're going to be talking about the 501 quiz. Our theme, AZVA High School, this is my time, 100%. Together we'll find a way. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. This is my time to work hard, to learn, to achieve, to grow, to prepare, and to have joy in my accomplishments. This is AZVA in pursuit of excellence, and my time is now. In our 7 mindsets for the week, we are connected. Embrace everyone. And our objective for today, together we will learn about adverb clauses and relative clauses. We will work through questions and have the opportunity to get bonus points added to our overall grade. So we are going to be talking about these definitions of this grammar and looking at some examples. I appreciate you watching this recording. I know it's not live like we usually do, but since we are wrapping up this semester pretty quickly, I want to make sure that you had an opportunity to go through this reteach and get the bonus points at the end, even if we couldn't do it live. So I really appreciate you watching. So the first piece of grammar we're going to look at is called an adverb clause. So adverb clauses are also known as adverbial clauses. They're dependent clauses that function as adverbs. Remember, adverbs add that extra spice to words, make them a little bit more interesting. Since adverb clauses are dependent clauses, they must have a subordinating junction to connect them to the rest of the sentence. Being able to tongue twister right there. Being able to spot a subordinating conjunction will help you recognize an adverb clause. Below are some examples, which are grouped by what type of adverb question they answer. When, after, when, until, soon, before, once, while, as soon as, whenever, by the time. How, if, whether or not, provided, in case, unless, even if, in the event. Why, because, as, since, so, in order that, now that, and as much as, and where, wherever, where. So when you're looking for an adverb clause, you need to look for that subordinating conjunction. So if you see some of those words that answer those questions, when, how, why, and where, you know where your adverb clause is. So that's your big key right there, is to look and find those specific subordinating conjunctions. Adverb clauses can be placed at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. When placed at the beginning or in the middle, they require a comma to offset them from the rest of the sentence. Whether you like it or not, comma, you have to go. The boy, comma, although he is very bright, comma, failed math. However, when the adverb clause is at the end of a sentence, no comma is needed. She enjoyed the party more than he did. So as you can see, those words like whether, although, and more answer those questions from our previous slide with that when, how, why, and where. Again, those are going to be your key words in finding those adverb clauses. Some more examples. Brittany can pass Professor Gregory's microbiology class if she studies 7 hours a day. How can Brittany pass microbiology if she studies 7 hours a day is the adverb clause. Josephine's 3 cats bolted from the driveway once they heard her car racing around the corner. When did the cats bolt? Once they heard her car racing around the corner is an adverb clause. So remember, you are answering those questions with adverb clauses of when, how, why, and where. So we know that if she studies 7 hours a day is the adverb clause because it answers that question of how. And we know once they heard her car racing around the corner is the adverb clause because it answers when the cats bolted. So let's go ahead and take a look at question number 1. So where in this sentence is the adverb clause? Wherever there is music, people will dance. Is it A, wherever there is music, or B, people will dance? That correct answer is A, wherever there is music. This is an adverb clause because it answers the question where. And again, wherever was one of those subordinating clauses that we looked at on that first slide. Question number 2, same type of idea. Where is the adverb clause? After the chores are done, we will eat some ice cream. A, after the chores are done, Or B, we will eat some ice cream. And the correct answer is A, after the chores are done. Again, this adverb clause answers the question, when. Relative clause is the same type of grammar that you were tested on the 501 quiz. Relative clauses are clauses starting with the relative pronouns who, that, which, whose, where, when. They are most often used to define or identify the noun that precedes them. A relative clause also is called an adjective or adjectival clause. Will meet these three requirements. First, it will contain a subject and a verb. Next, it will begin with a relative pronoun, which is that whom, who, whose, that, or which, or a relative adverb, when, where, or why. Finally, it will function as an adjective, answering the questions what kind, how many, or which one. So as you can see, relative and adverb clauses are very similar. The thing with relative clauses is it's the words that define or identify the noun that precedes them. That's that main goal. So in this example, my ESL teacher, who came to Germany in 1986, likes to ride his mountain bike. The heavy rain, which was unusual for the time of year, destroyed most of the plants in my garden. Einstein, who was born in Germany, is famous for his theory of relativity. So as you can see, these clauses start with that who, which, when, those type of words. So whereas your adverb clauses are looking more at those subordinating conjunctions, so explaining the who, which, where, these relative clauses are using those specific who, which, when, why. Relative clauses must give extra information, as the example sentences above. They must be separated by commas. So question number 3, which revision of these two sentences uses a relative clause? A, playing a difficult score, the orchestra was seated on stage. B, the orchestra that was seated on stage played a difficult score. C, when they were seated on stage, the orchestra played a difficult score. Or D, the orchestra seated on stage played a difficult score. And that correct answer is B, the orchestra that was seated on stage played a difficult score. And we have that starting with that. Question number 4, what is the relative clause in this sentence? This is similar to our first two questions. What is the name of the hotel in which you stayed last week? A, name of the hotel. B, what is the name? C, in which you stayed last week. Or D, in which you. So which part is the relative clause? And that correct answer is C, in which you stayed last week. Again, that which starting word is answering that question, giving more of that information. If you need more help with grammar ever, Grammar Bites is a great tool. You can go to chompchomp.com, or of course you could come talk to me, but Grammar Bites, Chomp Chomp is a great website that gives you lots of examples and things you can practice with. All right, so what is next? You do have a survey. I'm going to include it in the email where you got this video. You can retake this quiz up to 2 more times to get the highest score. Make sure you are working on that 512 speech. We did have a session this week on Wednesday, which was, I'm totally losing my days here, the 4th. And we are going to have a session next week on the 9th and the 12th, which is a Monday and a Thursday. So make sure you come to those sessions. Also, make sure you complete your Unit 5 study guide. Remember, you have to do that to access your Unit 5 test. If you have any questions or need any more help, please feel free to reach out by email, phone, or text. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching.